case is ridiculous, regardless of what people think of the underlying merits. Let me just add one more thing. I hope that, well, I would hope a Sotomayor would cross over on this, or a Breyer. But let me just say this. I hope the administration has learned a really important lesson in this. You do not issue these types of executive orders that you know are going to be high without your legal team in place. You need Sessions, you need the SG, you need the deputy SG, you need U.S. attorneys in place. You need all your ducks in a row, and you need to make the case to the American people as to why this is necessary. I think a lot of this has become a distraction and an albatross around the administration's neck, and I think a lot of it is unnecessary.
All right, let's go to process one more time, and then I want to move on to some of the political arguments I made in my opening monologue, Jay. In the process, assuming the Ninth Circuit, predictably liberal, legislating from the bench, they don't go along with the administration, even though he has the constitutional, statutory, legislative authority to do it. So assume it goes to Anthony Kennedy. Walk us through what the options for Kennedy are. He could decide on his own or put it before the entire court.
Yeah, so he can grant the stay, he could deny the stay, or he could refer it to the entire Supreme Court. I think the latter is more likely. And I'm with Laura. I think there are justices that normally you wouldn't expect on a case like this, but I think this cuts across ideology. I mean, like I say, the four liberal members of the Supreme Court may completely disagree with the president's position on this, but that doesn't answer the legal question. And I think they would be hard-pressed, any of them, frankly, to say that the president did not have this authority. And by the way, this argument that this was an Establishment Clause case, I mean, I spent 30 years arguing Establishment Clause cases at the Supreme Court. That was absurd.
I almost laughed when I heard, because they've used the Establishment Clause for just about everything. All right, let me go to my opening monologue for a second here. This is what the Washington Free Beacon put out. I hope I didn't write any bad words on here. Okay, I didn't. Democracy matters. There's strategic. Well, Laura, you know, you're both attorneys. Protect me here. All right, this is what their plan is. The Washington Free Beacon.
No intent.
So they're at this ritzy resort. They got all these big Democratic donors there. They lay out a plan, and among their plan of action is defeating Trump through impeachment. This is where it gets serious. The next aspect is this. They're going to combat anything that they disagree with. They say government misinformation, and then filing lawsuits against Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Do both of you agree with my analysis that this was not Seattle by accident? This was Seattle by, this was judge shopping. This was Ninth Circuit shopping. They had thought through this strategy, and this was all done by design. And the Trump administration be better paying very close attention to what they're going to do to tie up in knots every part of his agenda. Jay.
Yeah, well, listen, absolutely. And they specifically chose Washington State, and they specifically did that because not only is it a liberal state judicially, but also it's in the Ninth Circuit. But what Laura said is got to be underlined and underscored, and that is the administration better be prepared for an ongoing litigation battle. And that's why you got to get these people confirmed and in place. But the fact of the matter is you got to be prepared for litigation here. And frankly, on this one, the Department of Justice, and I've got a lot of respect. I've worked with the Department of Justice. It was very disappointing to see what happened today. But yes, the politics of this do not bode well. So they've got to get their act together here.
I don't blame the administration as much as you are here for a lot of different reasons. You know, the Democrats have not,
DOJ, actually.
The level of obstruction, the fact that Jeff Sessions is not the Attorney General at this moment, we need a Solicitor General. The President could have brought in outside counsel. That would have been viewed as controversial in and of itself. So we're stuck with a career, and I'm not criticizing the guy. I just felt he left too many great points on the table and could have been better prepared. Laura?
Yeah, well, again, this is what we have to expect. I told the top member of the administration a couple weeks after the election, looked him right in the eye, and I said, I hope you understand every day this is going to be a war. This is going to be a war to delegitimize your government. It's going to be a war to get you off track, get you on the defensive, get you to say stuff out of anger, and then say, aha, see, I told you so. Get you to be tied up in knots in the legal system so you can't see straight. So you have to be ready for this. None of us can be naive. You know, the Democrats are going to play the same smash-mouth politics that they believe they were embarrassed by over the last year and a half by Trump. They want vengeance. They don't have a lot of power, but they have a lot of money.
Laura, I've been saying the same thing in my own way, in a different way. Every item on the Trump agenda, this is extreme vetting. We're going to see this with originalists like Neil Gorsuch that the president made, I thought, a great nomination in that case. When the president does move forward with any aspect of repealing, replacing Obamacare, there's going to be, grandma's going to be dead in the streets. When he cuts taxes for the middle class and corporations, it'll be tax cuts for the rich. When it comes to energy, he wants to poison the air and water. When it comes to education, the NEA will scream bloody murder.
Right.
When it comes to any of these issues, building a wall, racism, xenophobia, you're right, this is the left's only strategy. They actually put it on paper. We know what their plan is.
Yeah.
So going forward, we've got to know, or the administration's got to know.
Be smart.
Be smart, Jay.
Prepare for litigation, because this is exactly what is going to happen. And when you are prepared for litigation, then you can answer the question that you're asked in a particular case.
But don't you think Jeff Sessions would have done a much better job in his sleep?
I don't blame the president here. This was not the president's
I agree
call.
with you. I don't blame
this
him
wasn't
at
his
all.
immediate step. This was a problem at the Department of Justice, and we need to have leadership in these various agencies to get this under control.
But
This
it's
was
also the
almost not
Democrats,
litigated
Jay.
today in an embarrassing kind of way.
If Jeff Sessions were the Attorney General, this would be a very different hearing tonight. Both agree with that?
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yes.